Hello, today is Friday, the 14th of September 2012, and the day before, which was the 13th of September, Ben Bernanke announced QE3. So in the afternoon, I decided to head on over to CNBC.com and find an article and decide to read it. I clicked on an article, quickly read Ben Bernanke aggressively, yada yada yada, didn't read anymore, but I did go down the comments section because that's all I needed to see. If you want to search for the article, the only suggestion I can give is to type in a sentence or so of any of the things that you see here. Maybe search for stuff added in the last couple of days, and you should find it. Paul McGee, okay, let's just go to the first one. This is it here. The unsophisticated investor stated 4 questions, all of them very, very good. Question number 1, where does the Federal Reserve get the money to make all these purchases? Does the Treasury Department provide it? Does the Fed use excess bank reserves? And does anyone have any control over Ben? These are all good questions. Where does the Federal Reserve get the money to make these purchases? Well, they create it out of thin air. And that's really all you need to know. And if you want to find out more detailed, you'll find out that the summary is that they create it out of thin air. It's the biggest legal crime I've seen in the history of mankind or Earth's living, of people being on there. Yet people are so unaware of this, and you can tell just by the question, because this unsophisticated investor has absolutely no idea where it's coming from, but he wants to know, or else he wouldn't be asking these questions. Well, one person answered the bottom one. Does anyone have any control over Ben? And that's the Paul McGee one. And well, Congress has the authority to repeal the Humphrey-Hawkins bill anytime it wants. Repealing this act would relieve the Fed of the responsibility to take action in high unemployment environments. Of course, the reason that Congress passed the law in the first place is because it wanted unemployment to be someone else's problem. Congress prefers to scream for lower taxes on one hand while spending like drunken sailors on the other. Now, when you talk about unemployment in today's times, there's a little term you will not hear from the mainstream media. And when they do talk about it, they won't use these two words together, and that is technological unemployment. This is a new phenomenon that's coming in because of how advanced our technology happens to be, which makes you think if we have any chance of having a future with an unemployment rate under 30%, you are laughing. Laser go. Ben Bernanke, quantitative easing 1, QE2, Operation Twist have failed to reduce unemployment and create jobs. What the hell? How about QE4 forever? What am I missing here? When I look at quantitative easing myself, I look at it, and I have for years, about the series of Friday the 13th movies, and that there's so many different sequels. They're all just terrible horrors. At least my opinion, they're terrible horrors. And this hasn't happened yet with QE, but expect at some time they'll say it's the final chapter, and they'll do several more. That's what I'm predicting with that. Next one. Jeff, I'm glad that I bought a lot of silver a couple weeks ago to protect whatever I have left against the Federal Reserve bent on destroying the dollar. Good job. IP freely on libs. This is a joke. The Fed infinitely doubled down on an already failed policy. It is insane, dangerous, and wrong. If things were so good, love their rosy predictions, which are always wrong, why this bold move? Obama says things are great, CNBC says all is great, but here we are talking about an uncapped QE, which is sure to destroy the dollar. If things were good, they wouldn't be doing this. I know things are bad, but for all the loony Democrats say everything is great, hey, stocks are up, things are fine. Listen, track Fed QE programs and the S&P. If you're not blind, you will see the correlation. Fed monetizes, stocks go up. A QE program ends, stocks go down. Fed starts new program, stocks go up. You get it? Yeah, stocks are moving independently on the economy. Oh, we are not at 90% employment either. 25 million people are looking at the whopping 4 million open jobs, most of which are at McDonald's. We got problems. Obama is one of them, but not the only one. I don't know if most are at McDonald's, maybe Walmart, but you probably already know that anyway. And 90%, well, they're trying, what's the unemployment rate? They say like 7 or 8? They say it's 92 or something. No, it's not that either. Okay, that'll be it for this video. I think there's one more. Yeah, there's one more. I'll just do this final one. This is from Sparrows. So what part don't you guys get that creating cheap money is all they know how to do? They're going by playbooks from many decades ago. Of course, back then, any debts were manageable and short-term. Keep telling yourself the following. There is no inflation. We can fix the debt bubble, or debt problem. Now gold, that's in a bubble. The value of the dollar, it's just fine. And really, we're not really in debt. There's 5 lines of amazing sarcasm, in my opinion, by Sparrows. Very good comment. And what I liked about the comment section is it seems, even on the CNBC webpage, this was a CNBC article, that a lot of people were really understanding what was going on. In fact, I couldn't even put all the good comments on, at least the early ones, because there were so many good ones, and there really wasn't any bad ones at all, which is, I find, quite amazing. Now, I didn't read the article because it's all the same old song and dance as far as I'm concerned, and I'd like to thank you all for tuning in towards this video. Again, if you want to know the article, find any of these sentences that you see in here, search for it. It's almost 100% that you'll find it. Thank you for tuning in.